So let me activate my shopping screen real quick. Now we established this into our scene, into our hierarchy in the previous video. We wrote the codes needed to deactivate and activate our shopping screen. But right now we still haven't created the functions that are gonna run when we click these buttons. So in this video we're gonna do just that. We're gonna create the functions that will be run when we click these buttons, the buyable buttons. And to do that, to start with that, we'll use our shopping manager script. So let's get into our shopping manager script. First, there will be a lot of communication between our player behavior script and our shopping manager script. So we're going to create a reference to that real quick. So our public game object. Actually, we can just write player behavior. And yeah, that's it. So save this. So we put our player character, player game objects into our slot right here. And since our player behavior variable is set to be a player behavior, the script or slot here automatically takes the player behavior component from our player object. So this. So now here's how I want to do that. Let's drag this in front of this. Actually, we can just delete all of these other scripts for now. The only two scripts that are relevant in this video are the player behavior script and our shopping manager script. So let's go to the top of our player behavior script. We're gonna add a bunch of bool variables. So starting with private bool is lmg1 bound. So false. I'm actually gonna do this for all of our weapons here. So quick skip. There. I think so. 2 LMGs, 2 shotguns. Is that right? 2, and 4. That's right. Now, at the beginning of this, so here on this line, I want to try something that I saw off camera online. So header. Use this property attribute to add a header above some fields in the inspector. Oh, we need a name. About tools. To be honest, I don't know what I expected. These guys are not even public. Why would they show? Let's make one of them public to see if it will show. There, now it's showing. You can you can see that Unity added a header here. So that's pretty cool. Now we're gonna set this back to private. Actually, do we need the shopping manager script? Let me try something real quick. I will try to do this without the shopping manager script. So we haven't used this for anything, right? Yeah, we haven't used this for anything yet. So there is no problem in deleting this. That's gone. to the bottom of our player behavior scripts, we'll create another public function. So public voids, what should this name be? About. I think I'm gonna use one function for all of our buttons. We have a separate name for each of our buttons, so in our shared function I can just create some if statements. But how? Yeah, no, we can't. I don't think we can do that with a shared script, shared function. We need separate functions for separate buttons, which I don't like the idea of because there's gonna be a lot of work, a lot of repetition. But oh well. I'm gonna do a quick skip. Look at all these functions, man. It just gets so repetitive, but I don't know how else to do this. Anyway, now let's see if our buttons can access these functions. So let's go to our LMG button, for example. Did we save? We didn't save. There. So LMG1 button. For that we need to use the LMG1 button function. There we go. Now we're gonna do the same for all of these buttons. Quick skip again. Let me actually check if I assign the correct functions. I did. Oh. Now starting with this. Here's the logic. It's pretty simple actually. So if we need to establish a separate. We need to establish a price for each of our weapons. For this, I'm just gonna set random prices for our weapons. So the numbers are gonna be pretty random. Now here's how we're gonna check it. Going to the top of our player behavior script, we have a we have a variable here, money, private int money. We're gonna check that in all of our button functions. So let's say the price for the LMG is $150. So if the value for money variable is equal to or bigger than 150, then we'll do money 150. Then LMG1 about true. Now we're gonna do that for all of these. This one is a little bit unique because for this health button function we don't have a about variable that we have for all of these weapons. Instead, for our health button function, we'll play with our health variable right here. So each running of our health button variable will increase our health variable right here. Each run of this is gonna increase the variable. Now, instead of this, we're just gonna write health there. also we need to do a little check if not that. I mean this. There. Now that we have established these functions and assigned them to our what are you saying? With rifle 2. Whatever. We'll deal with that later. So we assigned our functions to our buttons. Now we're gonna check if they work. The video will be very long if I check all of these. So I will just check our health button and its function. If this works, then the others work by default because they aren't very different. So I'm gonna play the game for a while, then collect 250 monies, and then I'm gonna try clicking our health button to see if anything significant will happen. Oh, we need to. There. Oh, the. Ah, never mind. This is gonna take forever. I can't wait for this. I'll put this back to its original value, but for now let's just test it quickly. Let me get a hit from this guy. Are you hitting me? Yeah, you are. Okay, that's enough. Okay, it is working. You can see that our health display went back to transparent, fully transparent. Now I just realized we need to update our money display to money counter. So in the end of our each button functions, we'll add money counter text money string then $sign. We need to add this to each of our button functions. You can see that our money counter changed. It's updated once we pressed our health button, and now that our money counter or money variable is lower than 10, once we click on our health button, nothing is gonna happen. I also want to make a tiny where is its enemy manager? Here. I also want to make a tiny little thing. So public game objects think that. Let me see. I was thinking of activating and deactivating or health display between waves, but I don't think we need to do that because there's layers between canvases. Let me test something really quick. I'll take a lot of damage to see if it will appear invisible in our shopping screen canvas. I think that's enough. Yeah, no, it doesn't show, which is very convenient, to be honest. But once the next wave starts, it's gonna show again. There it is. Alright, that's all for today's video. Now that's... I need to go to the player where script. Now that we can toggle these bool variables, we're gonna, in the next video, we're gonna make it so our player can switch between both weapons. So until then, see you later.